Exactly, quick. And they act like they don't even notice that a car is coming, and you're just like, maybe you should like jump in a ditch, you know? Scared me. All right. That clock say 7.
Oh, good, they're being played.
Like 1 minute.
I just reset it because it's not changed.
Well, I never know if my clock is right or not. I got 6:59, so yeah, just a second. Carla,
Yeah, they were.
can you guys hear what's going on here? Carlin, Leanna, can you hear?
Yes, can you hear me?
Leanna, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, and we can hear you. Okay, good. All right, shall we go ahead and start?
I need to make my list of just here.
Oh, here we go. Okay, would you get that, Becky? Okay. All right, 6:59. I think we should go ahead. I don't think anybody else is coming to you. No?
Check my phone one more time.
Okay.
See if anyone has messaged me
Like, I'm not,
or emailed me. Nope.
Okay, all right.
They're coming, they're running late.
They're running late, okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to call this meeting of the Trails Library Board of Trustees to order. We'll begin with roll call, please.
Leanna,
Here.
Harlan,
Here.
Dan,
Here.
Patty,
Here.
James, here, Becky, here, Mike, Goldie, Paul, and Chris.
Okay. All right. All right, we'll start with public comments. Amy, did you have something to say to us?
Those of you that don't know me, I'm Amy Bowen. I've been here since April of 2010, so I've been here quite a while. Born and raised here. I've just served the community here. Everybody knows me, and I know everybody, and that's a good thing. So I'm going to go over a couple of things that we've had happening here at Trails, and you guys may be aware of them. I got my cheat sheet. We've had the repairs finished at our branch, and I don't know if you guys noticed when you pulled up, we had the new roof done. It's bright white, and we stick out now, so, but it's lovely. We had the new guttering put on, the new facade out front, so if you guys get to leave before dark, you may just take a look at that and see what all has been done. MTS is coming to repair what we call the dead man wall. You guys know what that is?
Looks like a big chimney.
It looks like a big chimney. It is located right behind the sink here. You can tell where it has been leaking. So they are coming to repair that after Lexington's project is done. We've got our new first aid kit installed, which they just put up recently in the past month. We've got our new emergency safety manuals out for the branches now that we refer to in case there is ever an emergency that we need to leave the building or whatever and stuff like that. We got our plexiglass removed today, which it feels like a whole new library. It's like, wow, I can see.
It looks very different when you walk in.
Yeah, it does. I mean, just from sitting behind the desk, it just feels like a whole new place. So we are continuing our Soulfire training, which we just had a meeting with that yesterday. Things are going well. We're getting ready to start some cybersecurity training coming up starting soon. I think it might be next week. I think we're going to get our first taste of that. And if I'm wrong in that, I apologize. It might be next month. So it was a quick intro to that and stuff like that when he came around yesterday, and not yesterday, Monday, talking about it.
I think they used me as the guinea pig because I've been getting, and I'm sure it's from them. So.
Yes.
I was gone, so I haven't been briefed on all of that.
Yes. Yes. You know, I came back from vacation and I had all these spam emails that they were testing to see if we would open or not. So I think that's going to be a great training, especially with what the world is today. You never know what's going to be coming and going. So I don't have anything else. If you guys have questions, like I said, you can tour the branch real quickly. So, y'all have any questions for me or anything? Okay, I'm gonna sneak out. Okay. If you guys go out the front door, it will need to be locked by you. Otherwise, you can sneak out the side door over here, and it should automatically lock when you push the door shut. Okay, so
Just make sure that it gets shut. Yeah.
I'm gonna go get my husband for he's
Okay.
in the field. All right. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Bye, Amy. Thanks.
Okay, was there anybody else that?
Did somebody just come on?
Hello, this is Paul Polychronis.
Welcome, Paul.
Howdy.
Let's see. He must be on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The first item on our agenda is the consent agenda. Go ahead.
I think maybe somebody just did something.
Okay, all right, I thought somebody said something. All right. Anybody have any questions or anything before we hear a motion for that? Any questions on the consent agenda? Okay, do I hear a motion?
I move to accept.
I'll second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to accept the consent agenda. Any discussion? Okay, let's have a vote.
Leanna? Leanna?
Frozen.
Can you hear us? Carlin, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Hers is frozen.
I think Leanne frozen.
Okay, well, we'll start
Okay.
with Carlin then. Carlin?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Patty?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Becky?
That's
Yes.
even.
She left?
Yeah,
Paul?
she probably had to.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We just wait a minute until she. Okay,
That's
Deanna,
right.
can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that a yes for the
Was that a
consent
yes?
agenda?
Was that a yes for the consent agenda?
Yes.
It's a little hard to hear some of the voices.
Yeah, okay. We'll try to talk
Like I
louder.
had trouble hearing my name.
Okay. Talk louder, Becky.
All right. Talk louder.
Okay, all right, so motion carried. We have no unfinished business. Let's move on to new business. The first item is presentation of the fiscal year 2024 audit by Laura Gillum, but she's not going to be here. If anyone has any questions or anything, comments, we can, I guess, take those down and refer
didn't-
those to her.
I didn't
or-
see where there was any.
There wasn't, and that's one reason why she didn't want to drive all the way to Waverly, just to tell you that. It's a good audit.
Okay, anybody
Wait a
online?
minute. Well, I have a question. She was supposed to be here to present the audit,
Correct.
and she's not.
She get called earlier today to let me know she was not going to be here.
Right, but so when will she be here to discuss the audit?
Do you want her to come?
Well, why is she not doing it?
Well, she sent the audit report and it's not really in her, I guess the price that she quotes us to travel, to do the report. And there were, I mean, it was a good audit. There wasn't really anything to discuss. So she decided that she wasn't going to come tonight.
Well, she could do it virtually, right? Was she made aware of that option?
I was not the one that spoke with her, so I would say probably not.
Okay, well, we paid her for the audit and, she says it's okay, but I'd like the opportunity to discuss it with her. We had the Gillums do the audits for JCAT also. There's a lot to discuss. It doesn't sit well with me that she did the audit and she doesn't feel like she needs to present it to us.
I can request that she attend virtually or in person at the next meeting.
Well, yeah, we tell her, we don't request, you know, we hired her to do the audit. She does the audit. She talks about it with us. She just doesn't send us the audit and say, well, I'm not going to discuss it with you.
Okay, so is that possible for you to, okay?
Yep.
All right, so Jackie will get in touch with Laura and see if she can attend virtually the next meeting
Or in person, either
or in
one.
person. Is that acceptable for you, Paul?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's, we'll go with that. Anybody else have anything? Okay. We don't have to vote on anything there. No, okay. All right, the next item on our agenda is the Library Foundation report. Cheryl is here to, and is Mark still here?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's just around the corner
I
there.
can't see him. I can't see him. So I thought maybe he's all in.
he's all relaxed.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Okay, this will probably be rather brief because I just kind of condensed the things that we've been doing into a few sentences on each one because I didn't think you probably wanted a long dissertation on what's been going on. One of our projects was we have restarted the book sales in several of the branches. The branches that really wanted to get restarted with that, we tried to offer some support and some suggestions and ideas. We also have a little cheat sheet of ideas to help you carry out your book sale if you want to use it. It's not written in stone. It's just some suggestions for any branch that is not currently doing a book sale that would like to get started.
Which branches now, Carol, or?
Lexington has one, Quarter has been doing one.
Knobmaster and Warrensburg.
And Warrensburg. Those four have already participated in book sales. And as I said, we're open. We do have our little cheat sheet if they want it, or we're glad to help them try to find a volunteer or something to kind of help them get started if they need to do that. We also did a little bit of a campaign to re-educate the public about the Books by Mail program. We felt like that maybe after a short period of time that we needed to go back and put some information, make sure it's in the libraries posted, a little bit of word of mouth as well, so that people are aware that if they can't come into the library, it is a free, basically, service that they can take advantage of. We've also changed our investment program from Community Bank of the Ozarks to Edward Jones. Accounts are going to be coming in at 3, 6, 9, and 12 months, so all our money is not coming for a certain time. We felt like that the return that we were going to get from those accounts was better than what we were getting from Community Bank of the Ozarks. So we did that. We also are investing our building money from the Odessa Building Project and the Waverly Building Project. Again, we're trying to build up some of our balances. We don't know for sure how much we're going to get from that, but again, we're trying to be as good as stewards as we can for the money that we have available. So we're just looking at different options to try and increase the amount of money that the foundation has. We are currently reviewing our foundation brochure to make it more up to date. And we're also exploring fundraising opportunities to increase some of the foundation funds. The book sale money from each branch does go to that designated branch into their account, so for them to have available. And I think that pretty much covers, as I said, it's not a great, didn't go into a great deal about every program, but that's pretty much what we've been doing. Any questions?
Like you've been busy.
We meet 4 times a year, and once in a while we have to have a special meeting that we try to do that 4 times a year.
About how many people are actively involved in the foundation?
In the foundation, we are supposed to have 10 members on our board. We are short from Johnson County right now. And we're looking for somebody from Johnson. But it's 5 from each county.
Any other questions or? Carla, Deanna, any questions for Paul?
No.
Paul? You already said.
All I heard was no.
Yeah.
No, okay, okay. All right, thank you. All right, thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it. We'd like to know what's going on so that we can stay on top of things too. So appreciate you coming and, driving over here.
If we'd have thought about it, we could have done it last month when we were in Laketon. I
Right,
didn't even think
yeah.
about it. I was just at September on the brain. So.
Okay. All right, then let's move on to our next item of business of the update on the grant partnership with UCM. So Jackie, did I skip something again?
The credit card.
Get my different glasses here. I'm sorry, yes, okay. We're gonna consider approval of Warrensburg Branch Manager credit card with a credit limit of 1K instead of 500, right? Yes. I think that was did everybody see that in the notes that it seems to not be sufficient for that branch. So there's a new manager, correct? And so we always approve a credit card for it when we have a new manager. So
what's her name?
Kristen Erfer.
And where is she? I mean, what is her background or what is she?
So she has a master's in library science, of course, it's a requirement for that position. And she had been working at Mid-Continent. So she was an assistant branch manager there, larger branch, larger staff and everything. And so, yeah, we were very impressed with her. And I haven't gotten to see her yet because I've been gone. But from what I hear, things are going really well. So, yeah.
Okay, so anybody have anything they need to ask about the credit card, or is everybody familiar with how we do that?
I move we approve.
All right. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made and second that we approve a credit card with a credit limit of 1K for the new Warrensburg branch manager. Any more discussion? All right, let's vote, please.
Leanna,
Yes.
Carlin,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Ann,
Yes.
Patty,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Becky, yes.
All right, motion carried. All right, now we're going to move on to the grant partnership. It seems like I have to do that. That's my MO. I always skip something.
That's
All right, Jackie, I will give it to you.
All right. So I gave you a little bit of an update. With me being gone, we kind of knew that was going to slow things down. There's been a little bit of communication issues with the partners, which has delayed it a little more. I also had called a meeting for our team to discuss on Monday, but that was like my only day on vacation. I didn't have anything to do, so I canceled the meeting and enjoyed my last day's vacation. I didn't figure anybody would get too mad at me for that. And so we have a meeting tomorrow. So that's what I've been doing after I did my little branch visit. So we're going over all the documents that we have gotten from UCM and Essential Families, questions down, things for us to discuss in our meeting tomorrow afternoon. So the scope, so I know they kind of went over kind of vaguely with you guys at the last meeting about the scope. Ours is, so Essential Families is basically, their piece of it is going to be, they will purchase the laptops. They have this platform that has, telehealth, it has training for parents, it has all these different resources already compiled together. And then they also provide the digital navigators. they only work with them initially. It's like for the first 2 or 3 months. So they do the initial training with them. In other words, how to take the laptop out of the box, turn it on, you know, the very, very basics. And then they kind of stick with them and check in on them. I think it's 2 times a month for the first 2 to 3 months, depending on their level, you know, their comfort level. So that's kind of the first piece of it. Ours is we provide the space for these trainings to go on. And so we're looking at upgrading technology, furniture in our meeting rooms, and our common spaces, because some of them we maybe, like say Quarter, Waverly, we may have to do a little something so that if we had, say, 4 people that couldn't go to, like say Warrensburg, where this class was going to be, they could actually do it remotely here. We're looking at having different tiered levels of trained digital navigators. So the very basic is the one that Essential Families is going to be providing. We would like for all of our frontline staff, any of our branch staff, to go through that exact same training so that they would be able to help at the very basic level. So all of our branch staff would have the same training, tech skills across the board. We would like to identify, and of course this is not set in stone, this is just kind of what we're thinking at this point. The second tier, we were looking at designating 1 person per branch. That would be like that branch's like digital navigator. So they would offer classes above and beyond those basic classes, the introductory basics. So like they may do like some classes on Word or like navigating social media, you know, some type of classes like that. Then we would have a higher tier, which is kind of what we're looking at for Jay's position, is that 3rd tier digital navigator where they're going to go above and beyond that. So they're going to help teach some, and this also would be in partnership with the university. They would be training like certain skills that like workforce development. So basically things that would help them get a job. So it's still kind of all in discussion at this point. It's starting to come together, but we still have a lot of work to do. And I'm hoping that our team will kind of have our part mainly hashed out after our meeting tomorrow. The grant application is due Monday. It said 11:59 p.m., but that was Eastern time, so it will be 10:59 for us p.m. So I'm sure we will probably be working up to at least somewhere. It won't be submitted probably until Monday at some point. So, do you have any questions?
So you have to fill out the grant application, or you just have to get information to UCM so that they
Yes.
can, okay,
We just have to get information to
so you
them.
have to just get your information gathered by then and get it to them.
Yes.
So they obviously can just move it on.
Right, and they have, of course, grant writers on staff. They've already been working on the big applications, so at this point, they would just be plugging in our
Plugging in
pieces.
your information.
Are they requiring specific names? I mean, for the different people who would be getting training, or just like this many people, this many people?
Right, no, so it would be kind of, it's more broad at this point until we actually get the award, and then we'll have to figure out all the details. So like say, for example, like on the budget. So if we know we need to hire 2 new people, then we would put in, you know, salary benefits for those 2 positions. We also would have to provide like a brief, not a set job description, but just a little summary of what we were looking at for that position. Like say for updating the technology and the furniture in the meeting spaces. So we just have an overall dollar. So like $500,000 to update, you know, all of our meeting rooms with technology and furnishings and things. So it's kind of at a more broad level, and then we'll have to hash everything out. So, yeah.
Anybody have any other questions? Paul, Leanna, Carlin, any questions?
No question.
No, I'm good.
And we do have to have, just one more quick thing, we do have to have this letter, and I forget what it's called, but anyway, and it will have to be signed by our board president. So at some point, I will be reaching out. Do you have any time when you're not going to be available that I need to worry about? It'd probably be Monday that we would have you sign that.
As far as I know, I'm available on
Okay.
Mondays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know, I'm just putting you on the spot.
I'm not sure.
It might even be Friday, but it probably will not be tomorrow, but Friday or Monday.
Friday would not be as good as Monday, but,
Okay.
but I can make it work.
Okay, okay. Even if I could, need
Yeah,
to
I
bring
know
it
Friday
to
I'm-
Concordia.
I've got
Got stuff.
kids, I've got kids, but, they can drive, I can run over there too and do that, but,
Okay,
yeah, I should be able to.
okay. And I'll keep in communication with you so you know, when and kind of when we're almost ready to do that. So.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody? Okay. All right. Sounds like you are getting everything together and hopefully.
Slowly but surely, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and you've been away and trying to do all that while you're in the middle of all that. Like I said, you were on vacation and you had one day of what?
Yep.
A week of vacation that you got to actually be on vacation.
Pretty much,
Yeah. We should figure
Don't be
out how-
surprised if I take some more time off.
Well, you
Once we get through this.
You should, if that's what you're doing, vacations is work the whole time, then that's really not a vacation. Okay. I think we're good on that, right? Okay, so you ready to do announcements? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, so, just want to put on here, this is one of our kind of stable, standard things with Libraries Banned Books Week is September 22nd through 28th this year. So that'll be coming up next week. Already next week.
Is there something planned for that, or you just have like stuff?
A lot of
People
times
put
they'll
up
do
in the branches
displays,
or
but
whatever.
I haven't heard it. I haven't heard that we're doing anything district-wide, so I am not sure what each individual on. So I don't know if they're doing a display or not. Of course, all trails branches are going to be closed Monday, October 14th for our all-staff professional development day. That will also be our last all-staff with Brandy Sanchez with Sopar Collective. And then we'll have our last following this on the 1st with all of our managers at more in-depth workshop. And then of course you should have had a invitation there for the Holden Branch open house, Saturday, October 26th, at 11 a.m. And she kind of wanted to do this because they had gotten a couple of pretty decent donations, especially for their children's area. And so she just wanted to highlight the new stuff that they've gotten and just invite people to come out to the branch. So she wanted to extend those invitations to the board.
Is it like just 11? It just says 11.
I guess it's just, I'd say an hour, but it's more of a drop-in, I think. Like,
Okay.
It's not like you have to stay for a program, or anything like that. It's just kind of drop-in.
Okay,
Yeah.
just in case somebody asks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, no.
Good question.
All right. Does anybody else have anything else? Any other
I had a
announcements?
question.
Go ahead.
In Anita Love's report, she was talking about the Kansas City Star, and I emailed her today about it, and she did respond back, but I still don't really understand. She said that they weren't getting a paper or an electronic invoice. So how are we getting a billing?
So, I don't know how many years this has been going on, but it's been going on became the director, so 3 years, that when it's time for a renewal, they don't send us an invoice. They're saying they can't invoice us, and that makes no sense to me. So basically what they want to do is they want to just keep sending you the paper and then just expect you to pay the bill. Well, we have to have an invoice.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so how did you know what the bill was, or how much to send, or did they call you? How did you know this? Was it automatically deducted, or?
No. So eventually, when they're not receiving payment because they keep sending you the paper, even though you haven't paid, then they're like,
Right.
oh, you're due and all of this stuff. And then we have to fight for them to get something. And we've gotten some sort of invoice of some kind, or we wouldn't have been able to pay it in the last few years. But it's just been an ongoing battle. And then we actually have to pay for a online subscription, which we cannot use because we're a public library, but we have to pay for that as well as part of our subscription.
I was just confused how you knew to pay it and how much.
Yeah.
They would contact us after 6 months and be like, hey, you didn't pay your bill, and here's how much you're overdue. And yeah.
And do they send us that in writing? They say no?
I think they've sent emails from what I understand, and Anita's not the only one that's dealt with this because she's only been the TS manager for about a year now. So she wasn't the only one that's dealt with this. Susan was kind of doing interim, and I think when Nate was still here, he was having some issues too. So it's just been an ongoing battle.
Anita did respond back to me, and she did tell me that they wouldn't send a paper or electronic invoice, but I'm like, well, I'm still confused. Then how did you know what to pay or when to pay, or?
They call and tell you. Or
No,
they just
that's
tell you,
great.
instead of sending an official, like an invoice, they'll say, oh, you're behind. They usually call, I think.
Well,
So.
I hate to not support printed newspaper, but I understand the problem. So I was just curious. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, if nobody has anything else, I think that the meeting is adjourned.
I don't know whether.
I'm sorry.
No, that's
Okay.
I don't know whether dealing with the newspaper on an individual basis is different. You dealing with them than you, but I can tell you right now, if you call and tell them you're wanting to cancel, you will talk to somebody and they will deal with you. We did that last year, actually. So
I don't, yeah.
Mine has been extended for the last 3 months. My paper is now not due until October the 12th.
We did this last year and told them that we were going to cancel and all of this stuff, and so